Today we are driving the 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off Road. Can the TRD Off Road model actually perform well on road? We're going to find out in today's video. But as always, let me give you a brief tour of this car before we get it out on the road. The key fob is going to be pretty simple, the typical Toyota design. You do have smart entry on the front two doors. The TRD Off-Road model is going to have this matte black grille. It's going to be pretty normal in size, and you're also going to find functional vents at the bottom. The headlights are going to be completely LED besides the incandescent turn signal. You get a functional air curtain on the side fender, these 17-inch alloy wheels in matte black with these beefy all-terrain tires, plastic cladding for an extra rugged appearance, Tacoma branding in black, TRD rock sliders at the bottom that can also double as running boards, door handles in black, and you're also going to find these mirrors with heating and blind spot monitoring. Taking a look at the side profile, there isn't really going to be much to talk about. It's going to have a pretty rugged appearance overall, and I really like that. The wheels are going to be the same on all four corners, so you also get these beefy 17-inch alloy wheels with the all-terrain tires. There's going to be a left exit exhaust port, fully LED taillights, and at the back, you are not really going to see much similarity from the old Tacoma. You do get Tacoma branding across the back. The handle is going to be in matte black plastic, and I will have to manually unlock it from the key fob because there is no type of keyless entry for the back. There is going to be a 5-foot or 6-foot bed available on the TRD Off-Road model. There is going to be Tacoma branding in the back, and this one also has the spray-in bed liner, which I think is essential on a new pickup truck. This one also has the hard folding tonneau cover, which I also like on a pickup truck. There isn't going to be any type of thing where you can push the left taillight and it's going to open like the Tundra. Now let's take a look at the back seats. The door panel is going to be made completely of plastic, and you get two cup holders and a little bit of storage at the bottom. The running boards make it easy to get in and out of. The seats are going to be made of cloth, and they will actually be kind of upright, so they're not very comfortable. Overall, in the back seats, there is not a lot of room, and I don't think that you should plan on using it often. There is no seat back pocket on the back of the driver's side seat, but you do get two USB-C ports, an AC 120-volt outlet, 4 cup holders, and a seat back pocket that is kind of tight on the back of the passenger seat. Let's check out the front and see if it's any better up there. I really think that Toyota needs to work on the back seat of the Tacoma because it is very unusable. The door panel is once again going to be made completely of plastic, kind of expected from a Tacoma TRD Off-Road. You also get a ton of storage at the bottom. The seats are going to be made of fabric, however you can get faux leatherette if you pay extra. There will be 12-way adjusting on the driver and passenger side. Getting in is relatively easy with the running board and the assist grip, and let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. Personally, I would describe the interior of the Tacoma as utilitarian. You get a large steering wheel with all your buttons in matte black plastic. It is going to be heated, which is very nice. A lot of you have probably seen cars that have all the climate controls in the infotainment system, but that is not the case for the Tacoma. In fact, the knobs and buttons are actually so big, it is very easy to use with gloves on, and the knobs actually have fake screws. That is how big they are. You do have controls for your heated steering wheel and your 3 stages of heated seats. Underneath all of that is going to be a wireless phone charging pad, and you also get a drive mode controller and your 4-wheel drive controller. The gear shifter is going to be nice and chunky, and when you put it in reverse, you're going to find a pretty high resolution backup camera. This is pretty standard, so you get active trajectory and nothing else. You can get a higher end camera on the limited model. In the center console, you're going to find a pretty decent amount of space, and you also have some storage on the passenger side. Now let's take a look at the infotainment system. This is going to be the optional 14-inch screen, which is, I think, absolutely crazy. This is running Toyota's latest software, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, built-in navigation, and you can also use this with gloves on, which is very helpful for people that don't want to take off the work gloves. I don't know about you, but I am ready to see what this Tacoma is like to drive. So let's go ahead and wrap up this brief tour and get the Tacoma out on the road. Let's kick things off right away with a real-world acceleration test. That is honestly better than what I was expecting. There have been a lot of mixed feelings about Toyota's decision to drop the V6 and go for a 4-cylinder turbo. I honestly think that it's not a bad engine, but for a pickup truck, I can see where people are coming from. Keep in mind that there is a high-performance hybrid called the Hybrid Max that has over 300 horsepower for those of you that are interested. This one is powered by the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder turbo that makes 278 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. All of that is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, but you can still get a 6-speed manual, which I think is absolutely amazing. That gets 21 miles per gallon in the city, 26 on the highway, and 23 combined. That is pretty good for a Tacoma if you look at those numbers. But let's move right on to the ride quality because I think this is kind of impressive. We are not going over a great road surface, but I think that the 17-inch alloy wheels and those beefy all-terrain tires are doing a great job soaking them all up. Tacomas still have solid rear axles in the back, so this might not be as good of a ride as a unibody crossover like the Crown Signia or the Highlander, but it's still going to be very impressive for a pickup truck, and overall I am pretty comfortable in the back of this Tacoma. The legroom is not amazing, but the ride quality is pretty good, and I think that's what's important in a pickup truck. This still is very capable off-road. You get multi-terrain select, you have downhill assist control, you have basically everything that you need to go off-road. Of course, this running over a curb is just going to be like a normal daily task. Of course, you can also get the TRD Pro if you want the maximum capability out of your Tacoma. That is also going to give you a really cool feature of being able to adjust the pressure in the seat so that you don't feel the bumps as much when you're going off-road. That I think is very cool, and that is class exclusive. If you want the maximum capability out of your Tacoma, go ahead, get that TRD Off Road. I can assure you it is 100% worth it. But if you're someone that's only going to go on the occasional dirt road or just get away for the weekend at a campsite, I can assure you that the TRD Off Road model is going to be perfect for that. Just know that you cannot get the Hybrid Max powertrain on the TRD Off Road. You have to step up to the higher trim levels like the Limited and the TRD Pro to get that. That one is actually going to be quite a good powertrain. Toyota is making some Hybrid Max powertrains and putting it in some other vehicles, like they put it in the Grand Highlander, they also put it in the Crown Sedan, and of course there's the iForce Max in the Land Cruiser, the Sequoia, and the Tundra. This is going to be a pretty good setup. It's going to have over 300 horsepower, and of course you have EV range. It's not a plug-in hybrid, so the gas motor and the electric motor are going to be working together. But at low speeds, you can put on EV mode, and it's going to just let you glide around in electric range. Let's talk about the wind noise really quick. The wind noise is honestly going to be pretty loud as expected in the cabin. There isn't really that much that they can do, like the tonneau cover is something that they could do, and we do have the tonneau cover today, and I can assure you that it is making this car more aerodynamic and it's going to reduce the wind buffeting. But this is kind of a boxy vehicle just hurtling through the air, and well, they didn't really put very nice noise insulating glass, so that's not really going to do anything to help the cabin volume. But you don't really buy a Tacoma because it is quiet. It honestly shouldn't be, so I'm not mad that it is a little bit louder than a normal vehicle. We don't have very much time left for this test drive, so we're just going to wrap it up with a transmission evaluation. This Tacoma is using the 8-speed automatic transmission, which is honestly pretty good for a Toyota. Of course, it's not going to be as good as the iconic 5-speed and 6-speed transmissions, but it's going to shift pretty fast and it's very smooth. Like, you're not really going to feel the shifts at all. And since Toyota is shifting over to CVTs, I am still happy that you get an automatic transmission in these vehicles, even in the Hybrid Max. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video on this 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Off Road. If you want to see more on this particular vehicle, go ahead and check out my in-depth review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.